We continue with mantra 10. By perceiving the self in all beings and all beings in the self, one reaches the Supreme Brahman, not by other means. Kaivalya Upanishad keeps repeating it again and again and again. There is no other means for moksha. We can discuss this. People keep saying there are so many paths for moksha. There are very many paths that takes a person to moksha. The Upanishadic vision, the Kaivalya Upanishad, the Vedanta, it says there is no other means for moksha other than knowledge. This has to be very clearly understood. You shouldn't say there are many paths for moksha. There is only one path for moksha, and that path is jnanam. Rest are all preparatory practices for jnana. When we say rest are all preparatory practices, we are not demeaning them, calling them as inferior. We are not saying there are lower paths. Some are preparatory, some are, this one is direct. So the important thing to understand here is knowledge is the means for moksha. And what is the knowledge? Sarvabhutastam atmanam sarvabhutani cha atmani. Perceiving the self in all beings and all beings in the self. Okay. By perceiving the self in all beings and all beings in the self. Now, this mantra is often repeated in all the Upanishads. In Gita also it is repeated. Sarvabhutastam atmanam sarvabhutani cha atmani. This sentence is repeated in very many Upanishads and very many. Now, what does this mean? First thing it says, Brahman is everywhere. Brahman, God is everywhere. By perceiving the self in all beings. By perceiving the self in all beings means you see all beings and you understand Brahman. By perceiving the self in all beings. Second statement is the exact opposite of the previous statement. By perceiving all beings in the self. First one is comparatively easy to understand. See God everywhere. It is very simple. See God everywhere is all that he means is see God everywhere. You have to see God everywhere. That is, everybody accepts it as a very beautiful statement, and we all see God also. I don't know what we see, but we see God also everywhere. Whatever the first. Second statement is more difficult. All beings in the self. Seeing God everywhere, seeing everything in God. That is. Are you able to follow? Seeing God everywhere, and seeing everything in God. To put it in a easier way to understand, if you remember the the 10th chapter and the 11th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. In the 10th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, we see God everywhere. He takes up everything and says, this is God, this is God, this is God, this is God, this is God. Amongst the Pandavas, I am Arjunas. Amongst the Vrishnis, I am Krishna. Amongst the birds, I am Jatayu. Amongst the archers, I am Rama. Seeing God everywhere. In 11th chapter, what he did, he brought everything into, he brought the whole thing into one form. This is slightly more difficult or scary to digest and understand vis-a-vis seeing God everywhere. Are you able to understand the difference? So this is slightly more difficult to comprehend, to understand. Are you able to follow? Seeing the plurality and identifying God in the plurality. Second is seeing God in all is in God. Clear? What does that mean? I'll explain it. You see the various gadgets and understand all gadgets are enlivened by electricity. You see the various gadgets and understand all gadgets are enlivened by electricity. Now, what is the other way? You can't say all gadgets are in electricity. You can't say that. Now, what is this? What is the other thing? This is knowledge. When you see all beings and self in all beings, you are seeing two things. What? The beings and the self. Two. In the second, all are in God means everything is God only. You don't see anything other than God. Rivers entering the ocean. From now, you see it from the standpoint of the river entering the ocean. Two things you see. Now, you are in the middle of the ocean. What you see is only
ocean.
What you see is only
ocean. Water.
Ocean. You can't even say ocean. You have to say only water. So, even though the very many things are seen, you don't see very many, you see only one. This is knowledge. And this is the only means for liberation. So, when he says knowledge is the only means for liberation, you need to understand it like, in that sense, it is knowledge. Are you able to follow? God is the Antaryami in everything. Space is enclosed in 1 liter pot, 5 liter pot, 50 liter pot. Correct? Space is held. In 1 liter pot, the space is 1 liter space, 5 liter space, 50 liter space, correspondingly. But space is 1. But the 1 liter, 5 liter, 50 liter is the different beings. The different beings is the 1 liter, 5 liter, 50 liter, but space is 1. Second is what? God is the Antaryami. God is Sarva Adhara. Sarva Adhara means in Him everything
Rest.
is. God is in everything. In Him everything is. These two vision is knowledge. Space not within each container, but all contains one space. Indivisible space, all pervading space. Are you able to understand the comparison? I'm just using space as an example to explain. Otherwise, it is difficult to explain self in all beings and all beings in the self. In every body there is consciousness. In every body there is consciousness. So body plus consciousness. Now this is Antaryami. Consciousness is the Antaryami. Then comes the second. What is the second? God is everything. Sorry, all in the self. All in the self means all in God. Now, what does this explain? All bodies are one indivisible, non-dual consciousness. All beings, seeing the self in all beings and all beings in the self. There is no other means for liberation. The complicated moksha we don't want this complicated moksha. We thought moksha is something so simple. We thought Atma is within body, Antaryami. Consciousness enlivens the body. It means you get some idea that Atma is go within, look within. All this implies what? God, the body. Second thing he says, body is bathed in consciousness. There is no two things exist. The body is bathed in consciousness. Consciousness enlivens body. Body is bathed in consciousness. This is jnana, and this is the means to liberation. Now mantra. This is mantra. Sarvabhutasthamaatmanam sarvabhutani chatmani sampashyan brahma paramam. Whoever sees it. Whoever sees it. This mantra provides the path also. Now we explained what is seeing the self and self in all beings and all beings in the self. Now the same mantra gives a path to Brahman. How the same mantra gives path to Brahman? The path is, that's what he explains in the comment. More and more and more you have evolved, your identification changes. More and more and more you evolve, your identification changes. At the grossest level, your identification is with the senses and the sense objects. At the grossest level, your identification is with the senses and sense objects. Maximum ego pronounced. Ego is pronounced to the core. As the identification changes, when we say as the identification changes, What do we mean when we say as identification changes? As it turns subtler and subtler and subtler, you tend to see the unifying factor more. In the last stage, there is no unifying factor, only that. Only that. You and that becomes one. So it's not even you are that. You are that. You and that is one. This is the path. This is what he says. As you evolve, as you grow, as your sense of identification changes, the subtlety increases. What do you mean? What do you mean by the subtlety? A person at the level of the senses and the sense objects identifies with the physical body, indulging in materiality and sensuality, selfishness to the core, highly indulgent, highly materialistic, highly egoistic, selfishness. This is lack of identification. Then comes the next level. What is the next level? As a person identifies with emotions, the unifying factor is more. The unifying factor is more. My family. The unifying factor is more. To that extent, the oneness is seen. And then you say my country. To that extent, the oneness is seen. So as you keep evolving, you keep seeing you keep identifying with the circle of oneness becomes greater and greater and greater at the last point where that you seeing the oneness and the two things becomes the two merges. Vedanta doesn't say two becomes one. The two ceases to exist. It says simply, it says the two ceases to exist. அது வந்து ஒரு passive voice ல தான் ஒரு negative way ல தான் they put it. They don't say the two becomes one. That is more an assertive, positive way of putting it. No, Upanishads don't put it like that. It says the two ceases to exist. அப்படின்னா அது ஒன்னா அப்படிலாம் சொல்ல முடியாது. You can't call it as அப்படிலாம் அது ஒன்னுலாம் you cannot say, but the two ceases to exist, and this is the only way for moksha. This is jnana, and this is the only means for liberation. So what is the path here? Seeing the self in all beings and all beings in the self. The path is also indicated. What is the path? As you evolve, the oneness, as you evolve, you see more and more oneness. Opposite of oneness is what? Opposite of oneness is the ego being more pronounced. Opposite of oneness is the ego being more pronounced. Wherever I go, whatever I do, I should be there. That is ego. In oneness, what does oneness means? You don't see everything through this body. Selfishness means everything should happen through this body. Everything should happen through this body. Oneness means if there is a joy, if somebody achieves something through another body, I identify with that achievement, and happiness is through that body also, not selfishness is reduced. Are you able to follow? That's why Swamiji says, he puts it in a very dramatic, poetic way. Neighbor buys a BMW, you throw a party. Because you say, I got BMW. Where did you buy BMW? It is that fellow that has got. What are you celebrating it for? No. The oneness. Are you able to follow? Now, selfishness means all should happen through this body. The power, the control, the identification, everything has to happen through this body is ignorance. As knowledge dawns, as you evolve spiritually, what happens? The selfishness keeps reducing. So, wherever anybody is happy, you are also happy. Yes, sir, everybody is happy, we are also happy, no, sir. No. There is in the deepest core, there is a hurt, there is a pain, there is a jealous, there is a hatred. Is there? You are not aware of it. So, are you able to follow? So, the same mantra talks about what is the Antaryami and Adharatvam as in concepts. Also, the same mantra can be interpreted to talk about the path also. So, it talks about what is Jnanam and it talks about the path to Jnanam, and then it says Na anyena hetuna. Na anyena hetuna. There is no other means. There is no other means for liberation. He goes on repeating it. There is no other means. There is no other means. Is it okay? Mantra 10. We move on to mantra 11. Move on to mantra 11. Mantra 11 reads, Atmanam maranim kritva pranavam chotararanim jnana nirmatana bhyasa asham dahati panditaha. Atmanam maranim kritva pranavam chotararanim jnana nirmatana bhyasa asham dahati panditaha. Having made the individual the lower piece of wood and Om the upper piece of wood through churning by sustained practice of knowledge, the wise burns the bond of ignorance. Very famous, oft-quoted mantra, example, which comes in most of the Upanishads. This mantra comes verse number 34 Bhagavad Gita. Same mantra, verse number 34, chapter 4. Exactly the same mantra. How to constantly think about Atman. Example. How to constantly think about God. How to constantly think about God is the thing. For which the method he says. What is the method? Making the ego the lower Arani. The ego the lower Arani. And Om the upper Arani. Through the practice of repeated churning of knowledge. Jnana nirmatana abhyasa. A wise man burns up the bond. Bond of ignorance. Bond, it is implied. Bond of ignorance. So, first thing is the lower piece of wood and the upper piece of wood is the traditional way in which the fire is lit. In those days, that's how the fire is lit, because there is no fire that was available all the time. Today fire is available all the time. Those are the days where you have to create the fire. Every time you have to create. And how did they create? By rubbing the two pieces of wood. By rubbing the two pieces of wood. Even today, some of the Orthodox priests, they sit and do that. They will say, no, yajna. The yajna will be only meaningful yajna, only fire. If you light from the matchstick, it is not the right fire, it is the wrong fire. And I have seen it. They sit and rub, and then the fire comes, and that fire is used to light up the yajna, and they start the yajna ritual. Now, he is referring to that practice. It is a reference to that. It is a reference to the practice of yajna, where it is one is rub. So, what is it? What is the technique to constantly remember God? Chant பண்ணிட்டே இருக்கலாமே சார். ஹரே ராமன் சொல்லினே இருக்கலாமே. ஓம் நம சிவாய ஓம் நம சிவான்னு சொல்லினே இருக்கலாமே. All this is remembering God, no? இது சொல்றதுக்கு we know how to remember God. அதுக்கு தான் so many Sahasranama is there. Depending on the God that you like, you can choose the Sahasranama also. Vishnu Sahasranama you can do, Shiva Sahasranama you can do, Lalita Sahasranama you can do. All this is remembrance of God only, no? He says, all that is bringing in a focus, not remembrance of God. Adella remembrance of God kidiyadu. All that is a practice to bring about a focus. What is remembrance of God? The Upanishadic style of remembering God is recognizing your face through a mirror. Remember this. Recognizing your face by looking at the mirror. Recognizing, you can't directly look at God. By chanting, by doing all this, you can't directly see God. Through vichara alone, indirectly you practice. Through vichara, you indirectly see. Just as, what is indirect seeing? Indirect seeing is an example. What is example? Looking at your face through the mirror. To see your face, you need a mirror, no? Why can't you see your own face? Why do you need something to see your face? Similarly, to see Brahman, which is you need Shastra. But the beauty of the mirror is this. You see it there and understand it here. You see it there, but you understand it here. You see remember, you see the dirt, you will not wipe the mirror there, you will wipe the dirt here. This is Shastra Vichara. You see it there and you understand it here. This is the lower Arani, upper. This is the technique. Then I will come to how the mantra is talking about this technique. We will give some stories, some explanation, some logic we will give to that. But first is to understand the technique. The first is to understand the technique. What is the technique? Recognition of the self is through Shastra Vichara alone. Without the mirror, you cannot see your face. When you look at the mirror, you don't wipe the mirror. When you see it there, you understand it here. This is the technique. This is the technique. This is the Shastra. This is the Shastra Vichara. சரியா? Fire is produced. The fire is used to destroy the fuel, and the fire illuminates, and there is a benefit. Again I repeat, the fire is produced first. Fire is produced first, and then the fire is the produced fire is to the produced fire burns down the
Fuel.
burns down the fuel. Burns down the fuel. Illumination. The third thing is it illumines. What is the and then the benefit? This is the ritual. You will follow. This is the churning. You can go on and go on churning. Fire of knowledge burns shackles. The fire of knowledge burns up all shackles. The fire of knowledge burns up all shackles of knowledge. Atmana Maranim Kritva Pranavam Cha Uttararani. Now, what is the lower wood and what is the upper wood? What is the lower wood and what is the upper wood? The lower wood is you. The body, you, the jiva is the lower wood. What is the upper wood? Om. When the Om is constantly rubbed on you, the Om jasti rabbaha, what will happen? Vicks vapor of a mother in there. Yeah, rubs and rubs and rubs and rubs. What happens? It starts. The fire starts burning. And as it burns the lower wood. The upper wood also burns away. The lower wood burns, the upper wood burns. Yeah. First is, now follow the beautiful mantra. Fire is produced by churning. Comparison. Fire is produced by churning. Knowledge is produced by churning the Shastras. As on the lower Arani, upper Arani. Rubbing, not churning. What does churning means? Churning the Shastric statements. What is churning the Shastric statement means? Sravana Manana. Sravana Manana Nididhyasana is churning of the Shastric statements. As the intensity of the churning increases, fire is produced. The produced knowledge, produced fire burns down. Produced fire burns the fuel down. What is the fuel that keeps the samsara alive? Ignorance is the fuel that keeps the samsara alive. Ignorance is the fuel that keeps the bondage alive. So the produced knowledge, what it does, it burns down the samsara. What is the fuel it burns? Ahankara, the karmas, the ahankara, the karmas, the kartrutva, the bhoktrutva, Dalana ignorance. See, when we say ignorance gets burnt away, na? Ahankara getting burnt away is ignorance getting burnt away. Kartrutva getting burnt away is ignorance getting burnt away. Idella memorize panni, reproduce panna, ignorance didn't get burnt away. In fact, it was a new ignorance. added ignorance. What? இதுவரைக்கும் நிறைய பேர் எடுத்திருக்கிறாங்க. So many people have explained and all that, but the way that I explain, nobody can. இது ஒரு புது ignorance. Are you able to follow? So burning of ignorance means what? The fuel burns the ignorance down when we say. So how do you understand ignorance getting burnt? The kartrutva is burnt down. The ahankara is burnt down. When the ahankara goes down, when the kartrutva goes down, when the sanchita karmas are getting burnt away, your ignorance is getting, the fuel is getting burnt away. You have to understand. No, idellam pandradhukku capacity only the shastric statements has. Only the shastric statements has this. Jnanam destroys samsara in this manner. Are you able to follow? The third thing is illumination, we said. Production, destruction, illumination, benefit. Knowledge, it simply doesn't burn the samsara only. Not only the negative thing it does. Positively, it lightens up the self. Positively, the inspiration, the motivation, you see it as it were. Remember the cave metaphor? As you keep going, the diamond kind of thing starts appearing bigger and bigger and bigger. This is illumination. This is the illumination. It's not only burning away. See, knowledge does two things. It burns away something and it illumines something. It burns away the samsara and illumines the Atma as it were. Illumines Brahman as it were. You don't even say you will be seeing Brahman bit by bit, Brahman Papana Solana. Please understand that. They are not saying you will start seeing Brahman, Madala Brahman oda kaal theriyum, apram mutti theriyum, then stomach theriyum, finally mook theriyum, neck theriyum. We are not talking bit by bit, you will see like that. That's why I gave the example of the cave metaphor. As the boy as he moves in the path, the diamond kind of thing becomes clearer and clearer and clearer. This is the illumination. So, shastric statements are able to follow. Not only it burns the samsara, as a negative state of burning away samsara, but up to zero load. As it is burning the samsara, it illumines. And the illumination, the ananda, the bliss. Removal of samsara is not real ananda. Illumination, and you are seeing something. And don't give any mystical meaning like that. That's no, don't give all that. Yeah. Knowledge is capable of illumining the self. As it were, it illumines. Illumination means that which you are not able to see, you are able to see. That is illumination. What does illumination means? The non-existent becomes existent. It was there already. Because of lack of light, you are not able to see it. What light does? That which is present already, but you are not able to see it. Light illumines it. As an illumination. Illumination is not creation. That is why we say shastric knowledge doesn't create a God. Shastric knowledge doesn't give you a imaginary form of God. It doesn't give that. It gives when darkness covers an object, for practical purposes, we say they are non-existing. இருட்டு ரூம்ல ஒண்ணுமே தெரியல, ஒண்ணுமே இல்லையாங்க. டார்க் ரூம் ஒண்ணுமே இல்லையாங்க. Yeah, that is darkness. Then you bring in light. Oh, இவ்வளவு இருக்குதா இந்த ரூம்ல? அவ்வளவுதான். It light illumines and make you aware of that which is already existing. Atmana Maranim Tattva. Why if if you find some examples in the Shastras repeatedly coming, the material for reflection in that is so much. To how much ever extent you can reflect, to that extent you can derive from that example. Atmana Maranim, individual's ability to reflect and get it. Ignorance covers as it were the object that is already existing. Darkness, sorry. Similarly here, ignorance covers Atma as it were. When Ajnanam is predominant, God doesn't seem to exist at all. When Ajnanam is there, God doesn't seem to exist. As in darkness, it is, God is there. So what Shastras does? The light, the fire illuminates. Not only it removes the Sara, it illumines. So yeah. Are you okay till now? Last is the benefit. What is the benefit? As there is a progress, there is
peace.
As you gain this knowledge, a shanti, a tripti, a security. That is the benefit. A shanti. That is why a spiritual seeker, he says, is a contented person. He says, a spiritual seeker, a spiritual sadhak is a contented person, we say. Because he has that tripti. Ignorance is seeing the world as a source for peace and happiness and contentment and security. Knowledge is, this illumination gives you the peace and security and happiness and contentment and all. Yeah. The manifestation of the fire is brought about by friction. That is the friction that brings the fire. They actually rubbing is not the method. Churning is the method. Fire katti they clockwise, anti-clockwise. Clockwise, churning. Churning means it has to be in the opposite movement than a churning. In between something will be kept, like a cotton ball, that which can
catch fire.
That which can catch fire immediately. So something like a cotton ball will be kept in between. And in that friction, what happens? Uttarani, Adharani. So those are the two pieces of wood. The cotton ball is kept in between. Sometimes they keep the cotton ball. Sometimes they keep the dried tenga naru, we say, no, what do you call that? Coconut? What is it? Huska, that is kept. That is kept, meaning that which can catch fire quicker, faster. The fire that fire is kept. That which can catch. Now comes the Maya part of the mantra. Iduvaraikum fire, illumination, all this is more the application part of the mantra. Now comes the Maya part of the mantra. an impossible paradoxical combination. An impossible paradoxical combination. What is the impossible paradoxical combination? Fire and fuel is the wood. The fire and fuel are both contained in the wood. An impossible, a paradoxical combination. The Jiva houses both spirit and matter. The Jiva houses both spirit and matter. We have seen a human being equals spirit plus matter. How can the two impossible things that cannot be combined is combined? Knowledge and ignorance together. That's what he's saying. See, two impossible paradoxical things combined in fuel and fire example romba nalla irukku. Spirit and matter kuda nalla irukku. Up to this we are okay with. But then the real thing that they are trying to say is in the same entity knowledge and ignorance coexist. Inga we say no either one dhaan sir irukku mudiyum. Either he is ignorant or he is knowledgeable. How can both coexist? Knowledge and ignorance coexist together. That is why churning is needed. Churning is what? Negating the anti-clockwise na negating the unreal. Clockwise na asserting the real. Asserting the real is knowledge. Negating the unreal is also knowledge. That's only ignorance. But then both seem to coexist. How? It is not that by the shastric knowledge you are going to become Brahman. It is not the shastric knowledge is going to make you become Brahman. Brahman you are already. Knowledge you are already, and that knowledge is covered by ignorance. So knowledge is also you. You are knowledge, you are ignorance. You are knowledge, you are ignorance. This is the Upanishads. These are all the beauty of the Upanishads. You are ignorant. You are knowledge. Ignorance oda identify பண்ணும்போது knowledge தெரியாது. Knowledge oda identify பண்ணும்போது ignorance தெரியாது. அதுதான் churning. I am not the body, I am the self. I am not the mind, I am the self. I am not the intellect, I am the self. This is how the remembrance we said now. How to remember? How the unmanifest manifests. How the unmanifest manifests. The ignorance in the form of vasanas stays. The ignorance in the form of vasanas stays. In the form of vasanas. By the process of shastric knowledge, it is removed. Churning to be done to generate the spark of knowledge. சரியா? அதுக்கு என்ன பண்ணணும்? இந்த lower R is steady-ஆ இருக்கும். upper RNA தான் move ஆயிடும். The lower RNA should be steady. இன்னைக்கு lower RNA is very unsteady. The lower RNA is the student. The upper RNA is the Are you able to follow? The lower RNA is steady. The upper RNA is that which moves. It is the Shastric knowledge that keeps moving according to the level of your understanding, according to the level of your growth. It keeps the Shastric statements. And although at one stage, that is why we say Shastra seems to be self-contradictory. Are you able to follow? I am the creator, he says. Next statement. Brahma is the creator. I am the seed-giving father. I am not the Brahma is the creator. And then third statement. Yanadadhu sambandhame illa. I have nothing to do with this. The student's mind should be steady, not wander, not move. Inniki adilla. Why even after hearing so much we are not able to grow? Because we are not steady. We are wandering all over the place. We are wandering all over the place. So sad to see people wandering all over the place. 8 ல இருந்து 9 சத்குரு, 10 ல இருந்து 11 somebody, 2 to 3 somebody, 7 to 8:15 Vedanta class Aravindana. It's not steady either. There is no steadiness. The lower RNA is steady either. The lower RNA is not steady. When the lower RNA is not steady, the upper rendu sendu move aayirundha, what will happen? Nothing will happen. No change, no growth. That's why people come and ask why there is no growth, why there is no growth. I really don't answer. I just smile and I move on, because no point in saying anything. In the context vandadanaala we can, because in this context there is a context to say that. But sir, அந்த வெரைட்டி இருந்தா தானே, நிறைய மெட்டீரியல் இருந்தா தானே யோசிக்கிறதுக்கு நிறைய மெட்டீரியல் வேண்டாமா? சும்மா நீங்க சொல்றதே சொல்லியிருந்தா சுவாமி சொல்றதே எங்களுக்கு தெரிஞ்சு போச்சு. இன்டெலெக்ட் இஸ் த சொல்யூஷன் ஃபார் எவ்ரிதிங். அவ்வளவுதான் சார். இதுக்கு மேல இவர்கிட்ட ஒண்ணுமே கிடையாது. For everything intellect is there. There is nothing more than intellect here. So at least where India pona, they will give some other. So I gather all the material all over the place and I think and I grow and I evolve, because all are saying the same thing, no sir. Ellarum onnadana solranga. Lower RNA is not steady. I am not saying be steady here, please. In fact, if you are not steady here, it is very relaxing for me. No, I need not worry. I did not take any responsibility for anything. Okay. If somebody is steady here, now worry starts. So as long as you are not steady here, it's very easy, because I can say whatever I want and I can move on. I can say whatever, because there is no steadiness. Now, for growth to happen, there has to be the lower RNA has to be steady. In something, in somebody, in one place. It doesn't matter what that place is, but be in. It doesn't matter what that place is, but just be in one place. Don't be all over the place. Lower RNA அப்படி இருக்கணும். But sir, அது fanaticism மாறிடும் இல்லையா? But we only say we should not be fanatic, but Vedanta only says we should be liberal, no? Okay, next Janma we will meet. Yeah. Next Janma somebody will meet you. Yeah. Why will I இந்த ஜென்மால மீட் பண்றதே கஷ்டமா இருக்கு? Why will I come to meet you in the next Janma? Somebody will meet you in the next. Yeah. Are you going to follow? Churning the lower RNA has to be steady, not move, not wander. Till you get established, you should be steady. And what is establishment means? What is establishment means? Establishment means you understand that detachment has happened, vairagya has come, moksha has become the goal. Only goal, goal na only goal. இருக்கிற 10 கோல்ல வருஷத்துக்கு ஒரு வாரம் in a year, sir, I can spend 1 week for moksha. It is not a 1 week. It is not a 1 week time you spend. This you can go anywhere. You can move all over the place and do whatever you want, provided you have got the fixation. And what is fixation? Fixation means moksha has become the only goal and purpose of existence. Since moksha has become the only goal, karavalaria unga koodeye thothin varum. Yeah, adu enna pranipatena pariprashnena seve adu koodave varum. Adu or wall madri adu. Yeah. Adu or that is like adu or wall madri kooda ottin varum. Pranipatena pariprashnena seveya. The student's mind is the lower RNA. That is what you is. Yeah. Gita Koshgadinga mantra solradhunala I am saying this. The lower RNA is you, na student. The lower RNA is you, na who is you, the student. The upper RNA is home. So the Shastric statement is that which keeps moving. Shastric statement moves. What does the Shastric statement moves means? Selfish and that turn unselfish. If a selfish person comes and says, I want to become selfless, now don't worry about all that, become unselfish. If an unselfish person comes, turn selfless. It will not help you. Why you didn't say it in the beginning? Yeah. Shastric statement moves. That is the classic example, Arjuna, chapter 3. Shastric statement moves. அப்படிங்கிறதுக்கு எக்ஸாம்பிள் எங்கேருந்து கிடைக்கும்? Arjuna in chapter 3, mantras 1 and 2. Tadekam vada nischitya yena shreyoham apnuyam. He said, Mati pesadingo, he said. Tadekam vada nischitya yena shreyoham apnuyam. Mati pesadingo. Steady up. Name, say one. Shastric statements is the upper RNA which keeps moving. They keep moving. They are very fluid. They are so liberal, they move. See, Shastra is very liberal. They move. Lower RNA students should not be liberal. Shastric statements will be liberal. What you should do? You should be a fixation. What is the fixation? In one place, in one guru, in one particular style of analysis. You should experiment a few, but finally you should get stuck to one. Otherwise, I am seeing this. Everybody is everywhere, all over the place. Everybody is everywhere, all over the place. All over the place. Kadakalakshepa kekanalla. Kadakalakshepa types, you can go all over the place. Because variety, entertainment and all that. Srimad Bhagavatam, Swamiji is not taking Srimad Bhagavatam and I want to study Bhagavatam. That is why I go to somebody else. Yesterday, somebody told me this. If he has decided not to take, don't. In this Janma, that book is not. In this Janma, that book is not for you to study. That's it. Where is the difficulty? Are you able to follow? Otherwise, we are lower RNA has to be steady. The churning process, like this is how it happens, no? In the churning process, the lower RNA is steady, the upper RNA keeps moving. After the friction, it will come. If both are moving, what will happen? See, sometimes ground is stationary, you walk. Sometimes the ground is moving, you are in the ரெண்டு பேரும் வந்து அப்படியே ஸ்டேஷனரி ட்ரெட்மில் ground is moving. In the ordinary thing, ground is stationary, you move. But one should be stationary and one should move. Then only lower jaw, upper jaw, one is fixed, one only moves. Correct? You know in the 20th century, late 20th century, 18th, in the 1850s and 1860s, there was a huge debate, philosophical debate. Both the jaws moving or only one jaw moving? Berkeley, they all got into a huge debate. If you read all that, you will think philosophers in the end of the 18th century, other than great Western thinking. They were debating which jaw is moving. Now, which jaw is moving when you chew? Which moves? At least one is fixed. If both are moving, you can't chew anything. Yeah. So, I don't know. I'm assuming where the fixed, here moving. Upper RNA, lower RNA. One has to be fixed. In the problem, Guru is fixed, Shastra is fixed. Yeah. Ulta is fixed. The lower RNA is very fluid. Upper RNA is fixed. The Ulta effect. What is the Ulta effect? Ignorance is getting deeper and deeper. Churning is happening, but Ulta effect. What is the Ulta effect? Ignorance is only becoming reverse it. Atmana Maranim Kritva. Beautiful. Atmana Maranim Kritva. Om is the Shastra. Om refers to the Shastra, the upper RNA. Uttara RNA, Adhara RNA. That's all. Adhara RNA, Uttara RNA. So, steady. Be steady. But sir, in the நிறைய டைம் இருக்கு என்கிட்ட திருப்பி இதே படிச்சா போர் அடிக்கிறது. Therefore, what is wrong if I read something else? Yeah. Just before the class, one of the boys, a boy called me. Because I'm having some time now, sir, I'm reading all the Shat Darshanas, the 6 systems of philosophy. I said, no, Nyaya, Samkhya, Adala, Padikriya. Yes. I said, very good. The fundamental difference between the body, mind, and Purilla. He wants to read the Shat Darshanas, the Nyaya and Vaiseshika and the Kapila and the Patanjali. I said, out of syllabus. I said, don't ask me anything. Out of syllabus for me, I said. No, sir, you know you are not. அது எனக்கு தெரியாது guys. என்ன அதுல 3 வருஷ கோர்ஸ்ல அதெல்லாம் சொல்லி கொடுக்கல எங்களுக்கு. 3 வருஷ கோர்ஸ்ல சொல்லி கொடுத்த புக்ல இருந்து you ask me, I will say. இதெல்லாம் பதஞ்சலிலாம் கேட்டாலும் I really don't know. He is asking, sir, that Jaimini in the Purva Mimamsa and the Vyasa in Uttara Mimamsa, I said, the நாலுமே எனக்கு புரியல I said. All over the place. Are you able to follow? All over the place. Can't learn anything. Can't learn anything. This mantra, he says, in the churning, very important is what is fixed and what is moved. Upanishad mantra இதெல்லாம் சொல்லல. Upanishad mantra simply saying, having made the individuals the lower, form the upper piece of wood through churning by sustained practice of knowledge, the wise burns the bond. அவ்வளவுதான். Mantra is only saying that. Yeah. இதெல்லாம் சும்மா we are saying, take it up. சும்மா entertaining-ஆ இருக்கும் கேட்கறது, கேட்டுட்டு ignore it. No, the mantra is saying what? The lower Arani and the upper Arani. You are the lower Arani and Om is the upper Arani. In the ritual, the lower Arani should be steady, the upper Arani moves. Analyze and move along the Shastric vision. That is the Upanishad. Upanishad. The vision of the Shastra, though it is Aikyam, Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya is the vision of Vedanta, it doesn't start straight away like that. It doesn't start with that. It starts with where you are and tries to take you up. What you should do? You should be steady and you should be fixed. But sir, நீங்க எப்படி சொல்றீங்க? The Ramana Maharshi has said that way. I said, please go and ask Ramana only. What I am saying is wrong. What he is saying is correct. Follow. People ask me this kind of. But sir, Ramana has said that. I said, Ramana, what Ramana has said is correct, and what I am saying is wrong. Follow. No, Ramana. For growth happens through fixation. It is not whom that matters. Growth happens through the fixation. Character is in fixation. The character is in fixation. No. Character is in fixation. See, Mandodari got fixated in Ravana. That is fixation. That is what integrity and character of a person is. Fixation. Trying everything, divorce and moving from one to the other, Allah is not lack of fixation. How do we produce fire? Is the same way you produce knowledge. That's the mantra. How do we produce fire? Exactly in the same way you produce knowledge. And then I gave the comparative study, the fire and the knowledge. You produce the fire, burn the fuel, illumines the benefit. Then came the very interesting the Maya thing, where you are knowledge
Ignorance.
and you are ignorance. In you, knowledge and ignorance seems to coexist, where in reality these two cannot be together. Then came the practical way. How do we produce fire and knowledge? This is the fire and knowledge. This Om, the upper piece of wood, the lower piece, the Arani, is a reference to the Upanishads where Omkara, Pranava is discussed in detail. It's a reference to those Upanishads. Don't worry, we will not be getting into those details. Allah. We will not be studying that. It's a reference to that. And how those Upanishads talks about Om, Mandukya Upanishad. A, U, Turiya. That's all. The lower pranava, the upper Arani and the lower Arani. The lower Arani and A, U, What is A, U, Waking state, dream state, deep sleep state. Waking state, dream state, deep sleep state. And the fourth, the Turiya. This is Mandukya. Another Upanishad goes into that which is before A and that which is after something is there. That which was before A and that which is after what is before A and what is after as the upper Arani. And what is A, what is U, what is goes into the Pranava. It is called Pranava Upasana. Meditating on Brahman using Om as a medium. Using Om as a medium. Meditating na Om, Solina Kartilla. Please understand. Meditating na Om is reflecting on it. What is Om? A, U, Im. A means what? U means what? Means what? What was before A and what is after? No sound before A and no sound after. After silence. From silence, temporarily comes the sound and merges back into the silence. From the unmanifest comes the manifest and temporarily exists and goes back. Life is an arrow shot from darkness, flutters in the light for a while and goes back into darkness again. Matthew Arnold. We have seen all this. This is the Shastric statement. A person reflecting on this, fixated, reflecting on this, he is a wise person and that person burns the bond. What is the bond he burns? Pasham dahati pandita. Pasham. Pasha means that which binds. Agam bond. That which binds. Yeah. Yama's rope is called Pasha. You are bound to this. He will forcefully. He will throw the rope. You don't want to leave this. You don't want to leave this. Yama says, Yama will drag you. And another Upanishad talks about it. When Yama drags you, the fellow keeps crying and leaving out. Because he doesn't want to leave. Yama drags you. Wise man welcomes Yama. Wise man welcomes Pasha. This is the thing. Pasha. Churning is to be done for what? For the spark of. Lastly, the lower Arani is fixed. The upper Arani is moving. That is where you find the apparent contradictions in the Shastric statements. The apparent inconsistency in the Guru's action. You see the apparent contradiction in the Shastric statements. You see the apparent inconsistency in the Guru's action because it is the upper Arani. Upper Arani should move, lower Arani must be fixed. Then you gain knowledge. Through that knowledge, the Pasha is The pasha is burnt away. Mantra 11. With this, we conclude for today, and we'll continue from mantra 12 onwards the next.